to talk about how you can get started powwow dancing. It's a question we get asked all the time, and we're going to talk about that in just a minute. But while we're waiting, post in the comments and let me know where you're watching from. Show in just a minute. Keep posting in the comments. I'd love to see where you're watching from.
Line them up. Group number one, round of applause for those women's jingle and all the beautiful...
Good evening out there. This is Paul Gowder from PowWows.com. Thank you all for joining me tonight. Tonight, we're going to talk about a question we get asked all the time here at PowWows.com, and that's how you can get started at being a powwow dancer. You see all these amazing videos and you want to get started? Well, we're going to talk about that a little bit here in just a minute. But first, I do have a couple of announcements. So first, I do have to let you know that today is pre-recorded. Unfortunately, sorry I'm not live, so I'm not seeing your comments, but I will go back and look at them after I get home, doing a little bit of more traveling before my daughter heads off to college. She checks into her dorm August 19th. It's getting hard. It's getting real. I'm excited for her, but man, it's tough. So yeah, we're doing a couple more little trips before we head out. So I am actually down in Florida with my family, enjoying a little time with the family before she heads out. So today is pre-recorded. Sorry about that. A couple more announcements. Don't forget, we do have a contest going on right now. www.PowWows.com/win. We're giving away an 8th generation blanket. You can enter daily for even more chances to win. So make sure you go there and enter daily. There's lots of ways you can enter to win. The more ways you enter, the better your chances are. At the end of August, we'll draw randomly one winner. So get more entries in there so you can make sure that you have a better chance at winning. Also, be sure to check our calendar often, and you can find powwows near you. We have lots and lots of events being added to the calendar all the time. And so there's a powwow near you somewhere. So if you're looking for a powwow this summer or this fall, go check out the calendar. Lots and lots of powwows being added. Also, if you're new to powwows, and I know lots of you out there are, trying to go to your first powwow, or you're just seeing some videos and you really want to know more about this, go check out our resource at www.PowWows.com/powwow101, and that'll get you on a list where we will send you a series of emails teaching you all about the etiquette, what grand entry is, what a powwow is to begin with, the dance styles, the singing, all that stuff, really what to expect if you're heading to your first powwow. So go check that out. It's a great resource. Okay. The only other announcement I have before we get started is we do have a sponsor for today's video, and we want to thank them for their sponsorship. And here is a word from our sponsor.
Way-hey-ya-ho-hey-ho. It's the little things that can make all the difference. And by getting your COVID booster, you're taking just a little time to protect yourself from serious illness, hospitalization, and even death from COVID-19. Everyone 5 and older is eligible.
We can do this. Find boosters near you at vaccines.gov. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
We can do this, Indian country. Let's make sure, if you're able, go find out more and get your vaccine, get your boosters, and let's keep doing this. Let's make sure we keep powwows open. It's great to have everything back open, so let's keep it that way. Okay, so today's topic is, how do I get started being a powwow dancer? Like I said, we get this question a lot on PowWows.com, and so I wanted to just take a few minutes and talk a little bit about that. First, let's talk about who can dance and who can be a powwow dancer. So if you're looking at these videos from Gathering Nations and Denver March Powwow, these big contest powwows, those powwows are going to require some kind of tribal ID, tribal affiliation, a CDIB card. You're going to have to show your enrollment status. So if you're looking to do that and you're looking to compete and all that, make sure you're going to have that paperwork. You're going to have that enrollment status. Now, some of the community powwows, smaller powwows, some of those are a little different. You're really going to have to check with those to see who is able to dance at those. There are lots of powwows out there that don't have any kind of registration. They're just open intertribal powwows. You can go and participate in those. And there are powwows out there that are small or community powwows that have, contests. They're not like the big Gathering Nations, but they have a contest or whatever, and they may not have the same kind of requirements as the big ones. So if you're not federally enrolled, if you're state enrolled, or whatever your status is, check with your local powwows and see what their restrictions are to see if you can dance there. But just keep in mind, the big contest powwows are going to require some kind of tribal enrollment, most of them. Okay. Now, lots of people see the videos and lots of people see what we do here at PowWows.com, and they want to be involved in powwows. So I did want to say first, there are lots of ways to be involved in powwows and not necessarily be a dancer. There are other things you can do. I highly encourage you, whether you're just starting out and you want to learn more about powwows or you're wanting to, become a dancer. The first thing I always tell people is go to those community powwows, go to your local powwow, the ones that, being put on down the road or in your state or whatever. Find those powwows and visit them, volunteer, help out, get involved. And that's where you're going to find your place, and really that will lead to more, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But that's the best way to start, however you want to be involved. Visit your local powwows, get to know the people in your area that travel around to those local powwows. There's going to be a group of people that kind of go around to all the same powwows together. Get to know them, and they're going to be a great resource for you. Now, how do you get started? Actually, you're ready and you want to start making your outfit. You want to get out there and start dancing. So first thing I would do is, you need to find someone that's going to serve as that mentor for you, that's going to help you figure out not only just how to dance and what parts of regalia you got to put together and all that kind of thing, how to make different things or where to look, and if you're going to have to buy or trade or however you're going to put together all of your items, how you're going to carry yourself in the arena, what it means to be a powwow dancer. You need somebody that's going to help you with that. So first source is always go to the family. If you have people in your family that are dancing, of course, go to them first. That's going to be your best resource. You got an auntie out there that's a dancer or, helps her kids dance. Hey, always rely on the aunties, right? Go find them first. Talk to them. If you don't have family members that dance, maybe there's somebody in your tribe, or extended family. Start there first. If those resources aren't available to you, and hey, I understand we all have different circumstances. If those resources aren't available, that's where I say go back to that. Get involved in your local powwows. Go visit those people that are out there at these local powwows, and that's how you can get started. Okay, that's a great place to learn and to find people that were maybe willing to help you, find people that you can find that are dancing the styles that you're interested in, and you can learn from them and whatever. So that's a great place to start. Go there and get involved. And from there, it's a matter of getting that mentor. That's really important. And hey, I'll tell a little bit about my story, and really how PowWows.com got started is way back in 1996. If you haven't heard the PowWows.com story before, way back in 1996 is when I started the website. I'd started really learning more about powwows and starting to become a dancer, and was singing a little bit. Still not much of a powwow singer, but I enjoy doing it. But really starting to make my outfits and regalia and put all that stuff together. And that's how I did it. I went to local powwows. I found some people that I went to, visited several of them before I even started dancing, met some people, and there was a group of people that did travel to all these powwows together, and I got to be friends with some of them. Some of them we got to be really good friends, still lifelong friends, still talk to them to this day, 20 something years later. But these folks, they took me into their home. They invited me over. I spent weekends with them. They taught me how to bead. They taught me how to do ribbon work. As literally, I would take my ribbon work up there when I was having trouble, and they would help me sew it down or figure out what I'd missed, and how to put all that stuff together. So that's how you're really going to get started, is finding that resource, finding those mentors that are willing to help you. Now, again, you're going to have to go get involved, and if it's not a family member, if it's not somebody that's already related to you, you're going to have to go get involved and put forth an effort, show that you're out there, putting yourself out there. I do not recommend just showing up at a powwow and asking, you see a head dancer and going up to them and say, hey, I want to learn how to dance. Will you teach me? That's not the right way to do this. You got to come at this showing that you're really looking to learn, you're looking to be involved, and from there, then you can build that mentor status. Now, also another caveat we do have to put on this is there are some dance styles out there, and it's depending on tribal and some of the dance styles, but some of these dance styles you really do need to get that mentor and seek some permission and some further guidance before you start doing them. So chicken dance and jingle dance, I wouldn't jump into those without asking and without having that mentor. Okay, those are things you really want to do your due diligence and really look to somebody else to help you with those things. And hopefully you got somebody in your family, then that's going to be a great place to start. Okay, so you've done all of that, and you're now you're ready to get started. So there's two things here now that you got to learn. One, you got to learn how to dance. Two, you got to put all the stuff together. Whether you're going to make it, trade for it, or buy it. There's a lot there. So let's talk about learning how to dance. The way, of course, there was a group of us, again, that traveled to powwows and were learning all this ourselves. Back then, we didn't have the internet, but we had VHS tapes. And so we wore out tapes of Red Earth powwow from back in the 80s and 90s. We wore those tapes out, watching Abe Conklin and these other guys, the smooth, straight dancers with those nice, really smooth styles. We watched those guys over and over again. Now you've got YouTube. You've got literally on PowWows.com's YouTube channel, we've got hundreds and hundreds of videos. In fact, I'm really excited. I just boxed up a bunch of tapes that we had, literally camcorder tapes, 50-something camcorder tapes from early Skamitsky's, Red Earth. These tapes are 20-something years old and have not been digitized yet. So I just sent those away. I'm super excited to get those back and add that footage to our PowWows.com channel. So look for those coming in the next couple of months. Hundreds of videos coming from that. But we literally have almost 3 decades worth of powwow footage. So, if you're a grass dancer, go out there and watch videos of Rusty Gillette and Randy Paskaman and Adam Nordwall. Those guys, go watch them over and over again. See what they're doing. Don't copy them, but learn from them and get inspiration from them. Again, go watch some of those specials from Gathering Nation. Go watch the midnight specials of Fancy Dance. Go watch some of the other specials that have been had at some of these other big powwows, and you'll see some of the best dancers out there really doing their thing. And it's going to take lots of practice. If you're wanting to be a grass dancer, or a fancy dancer, or fancy shawl dancer, those kind of styles, have to start working out. I, I, whew, I don't know how these guys do it, but so these guys are in shape, and these ladies, so you're gonna have to put in some work there too to work on the endurance side. These songs are 3 to 5 minutes long, and when you're dancing some of these styles, 3 to 5 minutes can seem like a really long time. All right, so that's the dancing side. Now, putting together your regalia. So, first on PowWows.com, we do have some craft tutorials. We got some basic tutorials on some bead working and making fans, and I think we've got one on bustles and some other things. But again, YouTube is your friend. Go out there. There's lots of people putting out some great content on how to make different parts of the outfit. What people that were helping me advised me to do is learn 1 or 2 things that I enjoyed and I was good at, and then from there you can build, whether it's you trade for it or then you're gonna have to go maybe buy some things. But if you're good at a couple things, then focus on those and make those pieces that you can yourself, and then it'll make it easier to pick up those other things. Like most people aren't going to be, for men's dance styles, most people aren't going to be tying roaches themselves. That's a really difficult thing to learn. It is an art form. It's something that takes a lot of time and practice. Not everybody's going to want to do that. So that's probably something that you're going to either have to buy or trade for. So if you're good at beadwork, then maybe you make a couple things and try to sell those to save up some money to buy that nice roach. I have a turkey beard roach, and the way I was able to get my turkey beard roach is I found a hunter that had a lot of turkey beards, and so I was able to buy some turkey beards from him, and I was able to take it to a roach maker and say, here are some turkey beards I want my roach made out of, and here are some turkey beards I will trade you to make my roach. And so I came out of it without having to really put any more money than just buying the beards from the hunter that I found. So that's some ways you can kind of do those things. And make sure you go visit shopnative.com not shopnative.com, shopnative.powwows.com, our resource, which is an online directory of different native companies and native products. There's a lot of people in there. Our classifieds on Facebook are Pow Wow Trading Post. It's a Facebook group. Lots of people posting different outfits, pieces on there, whether it's bustles, fans, feather work, all kinds of stuff, shawls and other things that they're making and putting on sale. Go check those out too. Those are great places to go buy. Some of the trading posts, Wandering Bull is a great resource. Crazy Crow's a great resource. And now I can't remember Izzy Umshad. And Two Ponies Trading Post. I bought a lot of stuff from Izzy over the years. He was always good. I'm assuming he's still in business. I think he is. I haven't purchased anything from him in a while. And then go to some of the bigger powwows too, and look for those items that you know you're going to have to buy. Go to some of the powwows and look for those people who are making them and selling them. There's a couple of powwows where Tipton. You remember there was one year I went up to Tipton where there was a vendor up there that had literally, probably 40 or 50 pairs of Mocs. It was like a shoe store. You sat down and tried on different Mocs until you finally found a pair that fit. In fact, the pair, well, can't see it behind me, but you can kind of see back here. My Mocs are sitting back there. Those are ones I bought from Tipton way back when. So yeah, that's the 2 other things. Once you find that mentor, and once you start learning about it, you're going to have to figure out how to dance. And you're going to have to figure out how to get your regalia put together. So use those resources online and offline. I hope that answers the question. I didn't go to, this wasn't meant to be like the step-by-step of each step you're going to need to take and how to actually do become a grass dancer or whatever. I really wanted this to be kind of an intro and really helping you get started and deciding if this is something you want to do. And again, I want to go back to, you don't have to be a powwow dancer to be involved in powwows. There are lots of other ways to be involved. Being a volunteer, helping carry water. Of course, there's lots of other jobs at powwows, arena directors and MCs. Those are good things too. Most of those guys do come out of powwow dancing, but not all of them. There are, of course, there's tons of people behind the scenes that you don't see. The people doing the tabulation and the people running microphones around and the people helping organize feeds and meals and powwow organizers that are just helping organize the event itself. There are lots of ways to get involved. You don't necessarily have to be a dancer, but I do encourage you, if you're really interested, go to those local powwows, start getting involved, and maybe you find that it's not necessarily powwow dancing that you want to do. You just want to be involved, and maybe you'll find your place. And again, if you do want to be a powwow dancer, if you've listened to this and that is, you do want to start that way, I hope I've given you a little information about how to take that next step. If you have questions, I'd love to hear from you. Paul at PowWows.com. You can always reach out to me there. And hey, if you do become, if you do start making your stuff and learning how to dance, let me know. I'd love to follow along on your journey. So send me some updates. I'd love to see videos or pictures, whatever. And if you're heading out to a powwow and that I'm going to be at, hey, stop by and say hello. I'd love to see you dance. It's always great to see somebody out there in the arena and enjoying themselves. So I hope this all helps you get started. And it's an awesome thing. I wish I could dance more myself. Before I really got into PowWows.com and it really started growing here over the last maybe 10 years, I was dancing a lot more and we were traveling to a lot of powwows every year and doing a lot more of that than we are now. But that's okay. I found my place at powwows, and this is kind of where I enjoy and do it. And now that I'm retired from the day job and daughter's going off to college, maybe I'll dance a little bit more and have some more time. We'll see. But for right now, this is the way I love being involved in powwows, and this is kind of the path I've found. And maybe you out there will find your path too in powwows and become involved. But yeah, keep me up to date. I'd love to see it. Hope this helped. And I appreciate your support, and I hope to see you next time. Thanks for being here, and have a great week.